excited for the 25-26 swimming full season coming up. We've just gotten everybody moved into school. Classes are finishing up their second week. Looking ahead to the season, we've got a really great group of people, great leaders on the team. I think our schedule sets us up well for a lot of great challenges and ways to do things that we haven't really done as a program before. Looking at getting swimmers on the women's side back to nationals, getting our first men to nationals. I think that when we look at the way that we've elevated the program in the last really 3 years, that's been in part to the leaders that we've had that have graduated now. And now I'm looking forward to the way that our juniors and seniors this year really take what they've experienced and then continue to build upon that. So very excited, lots to look forward to, and really can't wait for it to start.
Coach Brad, can you tell us a little bit about your goals and expectations for both squads this season?
Yeah, I think it's important, like really whenever we talk about goals, whenever we talk about like things that we want to see out of the team, that we're looking at something that is subjective as well as objective. And so starting with kind of some of those objective goals, we really always want to put at the forefront our academic experience. And so we have a goal of being over a 3.0 average GPA on the men's side and the women's side. We've done a great job of that, and we'll continue to have that as our primary goal. Objectively as well, we want to continue to score more points at our conference championship, looking at getting more individuals into B finals, A finals, elevating the relays, and then too, like I just said kind of in my opening, looking to get individuals and relays to the national championship meet, which is a great opportunity for us because it's right back at the Greensboro Aquatic Center where our conference championship is. On the other side of that, the subjective goals are really to continue building that team culture. Our family really being at the forefront of that is something where we always want to really continue to emphasize like that experience, looking out for each other, elevating each other, enjoying it so that when you finish your Lynchburg swimming career, there's a lot to look back on and those great experiences with teammates, with coaches, and have that continuing to be in a lasting part of your life. So I think subjectively is just as important as those things that we can do in the classroom and the pool.
You mentioned culture. How would you describe this team's culture this season and compared to when the program really started?
Yeah, I think the culture now is continuing. I don't like to say get better because we've always been really proud of our team culture. I think it's just more confident now because we looked at when we first started. We started the program in the 2019-2020 season, and we had a lot of young people who hadn't been a part of a college team before. And so, those first few groups really had to kind of figure it out as we went. And now when I look at our seniors and our grad students, even the juniors, they've had really, complete senior leadership their entire time. They've had people that have kind of know the ropes, know what to expect, know ways that they want to get better, or new experiences to have. And so I think that that's where the culture has really grown, is that we know who we are, we know what's really in our DNA, and we are ready just to continue expanding on that.
Coach, you talked about losing some of that leadership from last year. How excited are you, and who do you think is going to kind of step into that leadership role this year, and how excited are you for them to take on that leadership role?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that can do that. I specifically look at our group of seniors, and we have a really solid core group of seniors on the team. I don't think it's, we need to name any of them specifically because I see leadership qualities in all of them that are going to really benefit us. But one of our core things as a program is that we don't really elect specific captains for the reason that we can look at any time a grad student, a senior, a junior, a sophomore, a freshman to lead in a situation. But I think, looking at our program, we've got people that really have put a lot of work into making this program great, and I think they've got a lot more potential that we're going to see performance-wise and leadership-wise this year.
You guys bring in a very, very talented squad, especially on the men's side, top 30 class. Can you tell us a little bit about what they can bring this year specifically?
Yeah. I think that bringing in, like you said, our top recruiting class on the men's side that we've brought in, national recognition, I think that's a testament to the way that the team has built itself, the leadership that we've had. I keep going back to that, but people that make this a fun experience, a challenging experience, and one that's unique, amongst any other. On the women's side, it's really the same way. Maybe not the numbers, but extremely talented group of freshmen and transfers that have come in that want to be here, not just because of the swimming experience, but because of the overall family environment that we create and the specific things that we do throughout the year that really make this a different place than any other place that you can swim. And I think that what that talent's going to do is help us take those next steps on the national level and really become a threat consistently now when it gets to national competition.
You guys have a very challenging and competitive schedule. How will this help the team when February rolls around, especially on the women's side, facing several Division I programs?
Yeah, I think when we look at the sport of swimming, and specifically when you're competing at the college level, it's kind of scary. Like when you get to these individual events, there's not a teammate that you can pass the ball to, or a defense or an offense that you rely on like our other sports can kind of build momentum. Regardless of how a meet is going, when it's time for your event, whether it's a 50, whether it's the mile, you're going to have to get up there and perform yourself. And one of my goals when building our season is that I want our swimmers to be challenged every step of the way, so that when we get to the biggest moments, they're as prepared as possible to handle that mental aspect, that idea of being able to compete in a pressure situation at a high level. And I think when you look at our schedule this year, we have opportunities to swim against 3 different Division I opponents. I think when you look at it too, we're swimming against some of the best in the region, the best in our conference, and we always want to make sure that when we're getting to the pool, we're really locked in and creating a championship environment every time that we're competing.
Coach, what's one lesson you think you learned or the team has learned from last year that you hope to carry into this year?
I think that's a tough one. I think there's a lot that just kind of slowly grows over the course of a season, and I think that one of the big things that we learned as a team last year is how key our identity is. I look at the women's team really taking a step forward to create a women's identity and a men's identity, and then what that overall Lynchburg swim program identity is. And we had some people that took bold steps as juniors last year, and now those women are seniors, and I think that they're really ready to continue elevating that. Like I said earlier, we look at what is our DNA, what is it that truly makes Lynchburg swimming, and some of those traits are women specific, some of them are men specific, and whether that's going to be the way that we compete, the way that we practice, the way that we take care of each other, I think those are things that we really started to identify as we are unique and we are who we are for the people that we are, and I'm really excited to see the way that transpires this year.
Great. Thank you, Brad.
Thank you, guys.